Charles Petrie has had close to 30 years' experience working in contexts of conflict and famine, some of it with Médecins Sans Frontières and much of it with the UN system. His career with the UN brought him to witness the most ruthless atrocities and injustices humankind is capable of. Charles Petrie resigned from the United Nations as a result of his inability to get the organization to investigate one of its own, who is alleged to have participated in the crime of genocide. The Triumph of Evil is the story of his search for justice, now a book published in collaboration with Eurobox. Let's welcome the author who's right now connected with us. Hi, Charles, and thank you for accepting this invitation.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Please tell us, what is the Triumph of Evil about, more specifically? Can you introduce it to our public of readers, please?
The objective or the purpose of the book was very much to get my colleagues within the UN to understand that they had individual responsibility for what the UN did. I mean, they could not hide behind the institution. They were an integral part of the institution. I think that my failure, the Triumph of Evil, clearly brings out that it wasn't very successful. My failure comes from the fact that there was no one within the institution that felt responsible for the institution to investigate an individual who was accused of having participated in genocide. And that's the story of the book, is very much my attempt to try and get the UN to investigate one of our own. The individual was a UN employee or UN staff member who participated in the murder of 32 people. The structure of the book basically has 4 parts to it. The first part is, in a way, my learning curve at the beginning. My experiences in the UN, working for the UN in Sudan and Somalia, and how I got to understand the institution, and through that, hoping that the reader will get a better sense of how the UN works. The second part is the lead up to the genocide, and its attempt to try and understand how somebody would be willing to participate in the act of genocide. The third part is the genocide itself, the 100 days. And that's presented from the perspective of a number of the key protagonists that came out in the first 2 parts. And then the fourth part is my attempt to get the UN, my search for justice, and more specifically, my attempt to get the UN to investigate one of its own who is alleged to have participated in the genocide.
Okay, it seems like it is a very structured book. What was the most challenging part to write down?
I think the whole journey itself, because it brought back many memories and many feelings. And that I think maybe comes out in the end, where. I think the journey itself was hard.
So we highlighted the importance for you to transmit the message to the UN. But what about the general public of readers? I mean, what can a reader take from this reading? Why shall everybody buy the book?
Well, I think, one, it's better understand the dynamics of genocide, which is one of the 3 most egregious crimes. What are the mechanisms that lead to it? The last part, the last section, the 4th section of the book, My Search for Justice, takes the reader to a number of contexts: the Congo, Gaza, the whole issue of suicide bombers, the dynamics, the rationale behind suicide bombers. And then presents sort of, then takes the reader to Sri Lanka, the creation of safe spaces in Sri Lanka that were then bombed. I think as you go through the book, as the reader goes through the book, they will actually find many parallels with the situations we see today. I think in the 100 days of the genocide, the reader will get a better understanding of the dynamics of the Security Council, how the Security Council functions. For those who like to watch films, who saw Black Hawk Down, the film that was done on Somalia. I mean, I was in Mogadishu during Black Hawk Down, so they'll have a better sense of the dynamics of Somalia, that period. I think it will take but I guess the last reason that I would encourage readers to go through the book is because the underlying message of the book is don't give up, never give up. If however difficult a fight may seem, however difficult things or however overwhelming the resistance may seem, never give up. That's the message, and it's a message that basically was encapsulated by Father Vieco at the
Thank
very
you,
end.
Charles, for saying that. It is really a very important message nowadays, especially. So thank you again for your time, and we want to wish you best luck with your book.
Thank you very much.
The genocide in Rwanda plays a central role, but the narrator takes the reader through the tragedies of the Sudan, Somalia, Gaza, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Myanmar, and Sri Lanka. This is a story about an individual who refuses to accept defeat. The Triumph of Evil, written by Sir Charles Petrie, is now available in bookstores and digital platforms. It's a publication by Eurobox.